Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Sunday, November 10th, 2024, and I was really struggling to figure out where I was going to go fishing today because everything is low, everything is warmer than normal, everything is clearer than normal for this time of year, so I knew that no matter where I went, I would probably struggle. So I decided, why put a lot of effort into it? I'll just stay local, come down here to this pond, and just see if I can put any kind of a catch together. I'm hoping maybe for some bass, but if those aren't biting, I could go for crappie, perch, panfish of any kind, you know, just something to put a bend in the rod. So I've got my light pole here. I'm going to start out with the shallow diving crankbait, and we'll see if there's anything biting. My expectations are somewhat low today, but they're not zero. I know there are fish to be caught. So far, this has been the driest, warmest autumn that I think I can ever remember. Last week, it was in the 70s during the day. Sometimes it got up to about 80. And we've had almost zero rain for a month and a half. And you can tell because this pond is about a foot below summer levels. And it's about 2 feet below spring levels. So we need rain and we need things to cool off a little bit. Today's actually the first day in a while where it actually feels like autumn. It's only 60 degrees today, and there's a bit of a chilly breeze. But even for the middle of November, 60 degrees is pretty balmy. So the unseasonable warmth continues. I don't know what effect that's going to have on the fishing. Hopefully not too big an impact, and we can still put some fish on the board today. Well, no bites here so far, but I have been seeing some bait fish activity on the surface, which at first seemed a little odd, but considering how warm it's been, it's decidedly less so. Haven't seen anything swirling on the bait fish yet, but who knows? Is that a fish? Oh, that felt like it might have been a fish. Nope, nope, it was not. It was weeds. That's the first thing that has felt even a little bit like a fish today. Well, everybody, I gave that crankbait as much of a chance as I could and got absolutely nothing on it, which is kind of surprising. I thought that was a pretty solid choice for a day like today. So I switched over to a swim bait on a jig head. We'll see if that produces. Just gonna have to keep throwing the tackle box at him until we figure out what works. Well, today has not been good so far. My original theory about it being a tough bite is certainly manifesting itself. I was thinking about even going surf fishing today. In fact, the beach is like, you know, a block and a half that way. But from what I've heard, the surf fishing isn't that good either. There's plenty of bait around, but nothing's on it, at least not along the beach. So it was sort of like, well, if I'm gonna struggle, I might as well not make a big production out of it. Just hit up a local pond, put in my time, and call it a day. And that seems to be what I'm gonna be doing. Well, guys, I think another sign that I'm in for a tough day is that I have not seen anything up shallow. I haven't seen any sunfish, no small bass, no carp, aside from, you know, the occasional bait fish flipping on the surface. This pond has looked dead today. And normally when it looks dead, it is dead. So I might be throwing up a goose egg today. Just putting that out there. Well, I've made a circuit around most of this pond and haven't had much action at all. So I think it's time to switch over to my ultimate cold water slow fishing tactic, which is the gulp minnow under a float. Maybe that'll turn up something. Crappie, white perch, yellow perch, sunfish. Just any kind of a bite at this point. That's all I want. Take it. I think he's got it. Yes! All right. Little bluegill. Ah, a welcome sight. It's been about 2 hours. He's not much, but he beats the skunk. I'll take it. Ooh, he hit that as soon as it hit the water. What have we got here? That's a bigger bluegill. All right. Starting to put something together here. Not bad, not bad. Working my way up the ladder. Ah, man. It's like they just grabbed the tip of it. They gotta be mostly small, right? Huh. Well, I will be damned. It's raining. Not a lot, but it is raining. There we go. Fish on. Another little bluegill. These things are just pecking at the bait. For every 10 of these things that bite, I hook maybe one of them. There we go, fish on. I let him eat the heck out of it. And even then he was barely hooked. Look at that. Well, I think I am done for the afternoon. The bite is just not quite good enough to hold my interest, and neither is what I'm catching, really. But I made the best of a bad situation. It was a really tough bite. The bass certainly weren't biting. Nothing much of anything was biting, but I was able to get a handful of bluegill, which are always fun on light tackle. And yeah, just kind of an unimpressive day all around, but you get those days sometimes. Sometimes you just got to take what the fish gods give you and hope that for every tough day like this, you get a day that's just absolutely lights out. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.